Now, I know many of you are shocked to see this sort of video appear on my channel, but I decided to give Pokemon Unite a second look and ignore the monetization. And when you take that out, there are some other big glaring issues with this game that are making people quit. And it's certainly not $40 skins or overpriced characters. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys today. Because at its core, I think Pokemon Unite actually is a great idea in concept, and I still enjoy watching the game on occasion. I know I've been shitting on the game for being a greedy piece of garbage made by Tencent this whole time, but in the developer's credit, what we have here is an excellent concept for the game. The execution, however, has a lot to be desired. Now, one of the biggest problems with this game, and this has been apparent since the launch of it, is the matchmaking. If you go on the Google Play Store right now and see any of the reviews, about 95% of the ratings for this, almost all of them say something about how bad the matchmaking is and how frustrating it is to be paired up with teammates that don't know what the hell to do. And it's only been getting worse as the updates go on. Especially in ranked match, I have no idea how this is even a thing at this point, because how hard is it just to code master level players with other master level players and having beginners with other beginners? But somehow you could have them intertwine with each other and you could just end up getting clusterfuck matches. Unless you're with a team of 5 and you're on Discord chatting with each other, then you're gonna more often than not have a bad time. Especially with the new map that came out, the Sky Ruins. This map, as far as I have researched, is way more team-focused than the previous match. Now, if you are on a team of 5 and you're able to communicate via Discord or anything like that, then you have no problems. You guys can know exactly what to do, what the objectives are, and how to get things done in a coordinated fashion. If you're playing with a bunch of randoms, however, well, it's kind of hard to, tell someone what to do and they can't even hear you. And another thing, too, is the commands that you can send can only do so much, especially when someone does not know actually how to play the game. They may think they know what they're doing, just push buttons until something happens, but that's not how this game works. This isn't a beat-em-up or a hack and slash, which, to be fair, I hate in any game, to be honest. If I'm gonna lose at something, I want it to be my own damn fault, not because of somebody else. Yeah, get that shit away from me. And if it isn't your teammates bringing you down, there's another thing as well. And it has to do with the Pokemon meta. Now, at the time of recording this video, I've done some research, and the main Pokemon that are usually chosen by a lot of players in the ranked matches, especially the top 100, is Mr. Mime, Gengar, Glaceon, and Mew, according to my notes. Yes, that could change. In fact, I think Dodrio at the time of this is now discovered to be a completely broken character. So, obviously, that might be in the meta for a while until they get patched eventually, whenever the hell that happens. Now, with a roster of over 30 characters at this point, it's kind of baffling to see the same 5 get chosen more often than not. Just because the others are just so inferior and obsolete in comparison. It just goes to show that the character balance is just non-existent for a lot. Like, for example, Cinderace is a great attacker, but if Gengar's on the field whatsoever, yeah, you're pretty much dead just because of the fact that, well, Cinderace being a glass cannon and Gengar still being fucking broken a year later. You can do the math there. So basically, you have 2 choices when you enter a match. Either you play as your favorite Pokemon and lose all the time, or you play a Pokemon you really don't want to play that much just to have an upper hand and just to win more matches. Unless you're lucky and one of those 5 Pokemon just so happen to be your favorites, but that's a very rare case. So yeah, as you can tell, these 2 issues in specific are really plaguing the game to the point where a lot of people who are especially just playing solo and just to get some matches done, just to get rewards, or just to, I don't know, just play the game in general just because they like the mechanics, are just not even having that much fun of a time. Especially when their teammates are shit and they're being forced to play a character they don't want to play. Now, there is a chance you could get some competent teammates. You don't lose all the time, I understand that, but with the footage I've seen with a couple of my friends, I would have to say the win-loss ratio is definitely not in their favor. Maybe they just got unlucky with a bunch of shitheads on their team and some really good opponents, But that's the thing. Like, you have to rely on luck just to stand a chance. You could be the most competent player on the planet, but you can only do so much when RNG or just random chance is not in your favor. And nothing can be more infuriating than that. Now, at the end of the day, the main stem of this problem basically comes down to Tencent or the developers or whatever not putting their priorities where they need to be. Now, instead of you motherfuckers focusing on brand new Pokemon to release every 3 weeks or $40 fucking skins that don't need to be there, you should worry about fixing the freaking matchmaking so people can actually, like, pair up with teams their own rank and actually have a better chance, or fix the fucking Pokemon that have been broken for a year or plus. Like, why are these things not addressed? I'll tell you why. Yes, some things do get patched, but it's definitely not on their priority list. Their priority is engagement over enjoyment. So basically, what keeps players keep coming back? Brand new things. Brand new holoware, brand new characters to play as, brand new events to keep doing the challenges on. Those things are what they're focused on because it keeps people engaged whether they're having fun or not. And if you've learned anything with how engagement works on these type of live services, the more engagement people have, the higher the chance they could squeeze more money out of them. That's just how things work. So who's to say if Timmy Studios and Tencent are actually going to do the right thing and like start balancing the game out and start actually having appropriate matchmaking? Or they could just keep focusing on the monetization like they always do. Oh. I guess the main problem is the monetization after all. This game sucks ass.